Would you all please be seated? Life is just a string of moments, memories all tied together that define us and make us who we are. If I think back upon all of my memories, they all have one thing in common. They involve my family. Some of the best memories I have are the laughs I share with my friends, my mom, my dad, my sister, and the Appleby community, all a part of my giant family. I like to think that when we are born, we all have a family. And as we get older, it continues to grow, new members being added every day. To me, family is anyone that can smile and cry with you, share in your laughter, and support you through your tears. I feel blessed to have such a large family, and I love each and every member for all of their uniqueness. Take my dad, for example. He was born in a small town in England, just north of Newcastle, called Stannington. He moved to Canada when he was young, but some things about him still remain very British. Many people who meet him can hear the hint of the accent in his voice or the British humor behind his words. My sister and I love to constantly tease him about his pronunciation of the words can't and half, and we always smile when he talks to someone from England and his accent comes back. Some of the best moments with my dad have been because he is a Brit. This summer, in JFK Airport, we went to the local store to buy tea. My dad walked up to the counter and asked for Earl Grey tea and some cream. The lady at the counter filled a cup with hot water and cream, then returned it to us and gave us a tea bag. My sister and I looked at my dad and the shocked look on his face, and we immediately broke into laughter. Dad only drinks his tea if it's made properly, with the tea bag in first, then the hot water, and lastly the cream. It took my dad 2 more tries to explain to the lady how to make tea, and in the end, my sister and I were dying of laughter. My mom and dad were born 4 years apart, and according to the Chinese calendar, this makes them perfect for each other. If you have ever seen my parents together, you know how amazingly true this is. They are capable of finishing each other's sentences, and if I send them a message, they could be on opposite ends of the world and reply with the exact same words. They have an incredibly special bond, and many of my favorite moments have been shared with the both of them. For example, when my mom put the cheese grater in the dishwasher, still with the cheese in it, and all the cheese melted over all of the dishes. Or when we were walking up the subway station in New York, and a man at the corner of 53rd Street and 5th Avenue turned, tilted his head up, and then began to howl, and then shuffled away. Or the time when I got stuck in a turnstile in the subway, and instead of helping, everyone just stood and laughed. Along with my parents, I also have my sister, Julie, and I am so happy to have such a wonderful friend and companion. Who else would be there to laugh with me, get on my nerves, and convince my parents of things? In May, my sister and I went to the One Direction concert in Toronto, my first ever concert. I remember not even knowing the boys' names and the girls behind us giving me dirty glares when they asked me who my favorite was, and I had no response. I also remember the buzzing in my ears and my sister singing songs I had never heard. Ever since then, my sister and I have had something to bond over. She even gave me her One Direction posters for my dorm room, and I took her to the pop-up store in Toronto. It is an experience that we cherish together and is still the cause for laughter between the two of us. As great of a memory as that was, it is just one in a million. Julie and I have shared many moments together, and I hold them all very dear to my heart. Whether it be skipping through the streets of New York, singing "O Canada" at the top of our lungs, then proceeding to forget the lyrics, or playing at the beach together during the summer holidays. Every moment I have shared with her has become a part of my bank of memories. We all have our immediate family, such as our parents and siblings, and we have our extended family. The uncle that ships you a huge package of books from England to help you study, and the cousins that you rarely see, but who love to tease you about your accent and how you say A excessively. Or the grandpa that teaches you how to cross-stitch. Everyone's family is different. Mine is special, and I love them all to bits. but I am sure yours is just as special in a different way. I have all my crazy memories and stories that if I were to tell you all about, my speech would drag on for years, and I am sure you have yours too. No two people here have the same string of moments, but we do all have one thing in common, our final family, the Appleby community. I first came to Appleby in grade 7, and it was a completely new experience for me. I was incredibly shy, and I remember being frightened to say my name. At the time, my grandma was sick with cancer, and my family was going through a tough time. I remember one day sitting down to lunch with a couple of girls, and one of my friends reaching over, putting her hand on top of mine and saying, "I heard your grandma is sick. Are you all right?" At the time, we did not even know each other that well, but she was still there for me, acting like a sister. And it was the same friend that stood by my side in chapel as we sung Amazing Grace after my grandma's funeral, the same song that my sister had sung during her funeral. Each of these special moments is engraved in my head, and I will never forget the constant support the Appleby family has given me. All of us are extremely lucky to be a part of such a large family. This school has over 100 years of family history engraved within it. From the first boys to the large co-ed student body we have today, the community has provided support, guidance, and stability to all of its members for over a century. And we love this school. When we leave this school, we will still be a part of the community. One of the best community places on campus is right here in the chapel. When I first walked in, I remember looking around and noticing all the beautiful stained glass windows, the pictures of the old boys, and the names out in the foyer. My first moment in the chapel gave me a real sense of the community that this school is and the family support we have here. It is a feeling that I still get every time I walk into the chapel, the feeling of a large family gathering. The family in the chapel is full of history and stories. Take the time to look around at the stained glass windows or look at the names and pictures in the foyer, and you will notice how deep the roots of this family truly are. Each window holds a different story of family history and connections. On my left, at the far end of the chapel, close to the foyer, is my favorite window. It is called the morning window. I love the way the light shines through the gorgeous dark purple glass in the window and how it brightens up the chapel. When I first met with Ken and Lennox, I told him how I love the family feel of this place, and we talked about this window. It is named the morning window because the artist saw a hymnal open on the bench in front of the song, "Morning Has Broken," and the way the light shone on the window on the book from the window was incredible. Every single window has a different story to tell, and most of them come from members of the Appleby family. Like all families, the chapel is full of traditions. Every year near Christmas time, the story of Silent Night is read, and the choir softly sings in the background. It is a service that I always look forward to, as it tells the story of a family community at Christmas time, while at the same time brings together our family to celebrate. Another great family time in the chapel is carol services. They bring together the whole community of Appleby, including alumni and parents. But it's not just at these special services that you feel the sense of the Appleby family. Right now, you are all sitting in pews facing each other, and you can look across the aisle to smile at your friends. And when you sing to each other. The memories of this chapel are a huge part of my personal bank, and I know as this year continues, I will have more family memories to add. I have a new family in the chapel this year, the chapel wardens. Each of them is different, and they all bring something unique to this place. Already they have been a family I can depend on, and I know that the memories we will make together will be ones to last a lifetime. This year, another string of memories will be thread. Every moment that passes has the potential to become a memory. It is your choice to make each moment what you want it to be. But remember, for every moment, however happy or sad, there will always be a family member there to support you and guide you. And hopefully when someone else is having their moment and could use a family, you can be there for them. The angels behind me at the altar were made while I was at the school, and to me, they symbolize our family. I hope that each one of you can act like a guardian angel to a friend in need. As our principal said, your random act of kindness will be remembered by the recipient for their lifetime. It will become a part of their permanent bank of memories. The moments you have with the Appleby family will be some of the most cherished moments, so make them count. Will you all please stand and sing hymn 531?